Hello, welcome to part one of my massive Blu-ray complete collection in-depth overview series, and this will be the first part for a while, and I think I say it at the end of the video as well, but in July you'll get a lot more of these from my collection back home in the UK in certain segments, and this segment is all of the massive cinema Blu-rays that I currently own, which is almost, I think, half of the entire collection, and it is my goal to get all of them, and I'll talk all about that in the following couple of hours, if you can fucking believe that. I'll go through every single title I have, talk about the film, I'll go through all the special features, I'll show you the booklet artwork, the inside artwork, all that kind of stuff. So I try to be as in-depth as possible. A lot of them I haven't seen, probably about half of these I haven't seen, but I try to talk about them as much as possible. So I hope you enjoy, and without further ado, let's get right on with it. Alright, so I have all my massive cinema now in a pile next to me, so let's just get right into it. I'm not sure how many I have, but I know I have over 50, so I have maybe not half the collection now because they've gone way past 100 spines, they're up to like 115 or something. Not sure if that counts, like, because they release them, like the spine numbers don't come out exactly in chronological order, so I'm not too sure about that, but let's just get right on with it. Well, actually no, before we get into this, I shouldn't try and rush myself here. I should take my time because this is an in-depth collection overview, so for Massive Cinema I'm going to go big or go home with this one. How did I discover the Massive Cinema range? Well, the first one I bought, I'll mention it when I get to it. I just wanted to buy it because it was one of my favourite films. Well, not one of my favourite films, but I really loved the film. I'd seen it once and thought it was brilliant, and thought, oh, it's coming out on Blu-ray in a steelbook form, I've got to get that. So I got it, and that was it. Didn't really think too much about the fact that it was called Massive Cinema or anything like that, even that it had a spine number. I just loved the steelbook and the release. I had seen Massive Cinema releases around, usually the steelbooks caught my eye in HMV and stuff like that in like 2012, but I kind of lumped them in with like BFI and releases like that, just kind of indie British, well not indie, but yeah, I guess they are, I suppose, I don't know, but like smaller British labels that release classic films, you know. I just thought, oh, it's just one of those kind of things. But I also got another steelbook, which I'll mention again, and it's the only one I've ever had from Massive Cinema that I've sold as well. Again, I'll mention it when I get to it. But yeah, I got the first one, and then that was it for about a year and a half, and then early 2013 I thought, oh, I want to get some more of those Massive Cinema steelbooks because I saw on Amazon they were really cheap. They were like 8-9 quid. I was like, oh, you know what, that steelbook I've got is a really nice steelbook. You know, maybe I should check out some of these films. So ordered a few, loved them, got kind of addicted just because the steelbooks were so nice. And then I started watching the films, and it was really 2014. Last year when I started just getting really into classic films, and I just started getting more into the Massive Cinema range, more and more and more. I started asking for them for Christmas and birthdays, and the collection started growing, and I just fell in love with them, their releases and everything. I became a huge fan of Massive Cinema, particularly last year, and that's still carried over now to 2015. So let's get right on with it. This is potentially one of my favourites, if not my favourite, in the entire collection. It is spine number 1. I think I have the first like 13 spines or something, so we're going to go in chronological spine number order, and this is number 1. It is Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans from 1927, directed by F.W. Murnau, who directed Nosferatu and also Faust, which is not as well known, but it should be. This is also in the collection, and we'll get to that very soon. This is a fantastic film about a man and a woman who are married, but he's kind of being seduced away from her by a city girl. They live in the country, and it's about them kind of reconnecting, finding their love for each other again, and realizing why they're together in the first place. And it all takes place over one day, and they kind of have a day out in the city, and it just takes you through so many emotions. One of my absolute favourite films, and one of my picks for one of the greatest films ever made. It's just a fantastic film. A Song of Two Humans, it really is that. It's a very poetic film that has special effects and stuff which you would not expect for a film, A, from the 20s, and B, that's basically a romantic drama, but it's kind of a slice of fairy taleness into there as well. There's kind of a heightened sense of reality to it, but that is rooted within this kind of really human relationship drama, really, and I absolutely love it. It's a fantastic release. It's got some amazing special features. It's got a different print of the film from the Czech Republic, which is, it's kind of, the screen is a little wider, the print is a little bigger basically. and it's shorter as well, and the transfer is better as well. But either way, both transfers look fantastic. It has English subtitles on the Czech version, original English intertitles on the original version, has an alternate score, full-length audio commentary by a cinematographer, John Bailey, rare outtakes from the film, literally outtakes, just shots they didn't use, with commentary also from John Bailey, and Murnau's Four Devils, Traces of a Lost Film, which is an amazing documentary that is a little bit, and again I'm going too in depth here, but this is one that deserves going in depth on. It's by JeanLuc Bergstrom, and her voice is really like monotone, almost to the point where I feel like maybe she can't speak and it's like a robotic synthesized voice. It's a really boring narration, but the content is so great. It basically pieces together F.W. Murnau's lost film, Four Devils, which came out after this. It features the lead actress as well, Janet Gaynor, who's fantastic. She won the Oscar, the first ever female Oscar for this and two other films in 1928. And also George O'Brien, the man, is fantastic as well. Yeah, the Four Devils documentary is fantastic. It basically pieces together the film through scripts that survived, still images that survived, and it just sounds like such a good film. It's heartbreaking that it doesn't exist anymore. It really is. An original theatrical trailer, and then you get the 20-page booklet as well with pictures and stuff. It's just an amazing, amazing release. If you haven't got it, go buy it. It's not that expensive, and it is well worth the money. For anyone who's serious about film collecting and checking out classic cinema, this is an absolute must-have. Spy number 2 in the collection is a film by Johnny Tu and Y Ka-fai. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, but it's I believe it's a Chinese film. Yeah, it's from Hong Kong, and it is Mad Detective, Spy number 2. This is a great film. I know it divides a lot of opinions. Makis Tui got this, he really didn't get on with it, even though he's a big Asian cinema fan. I thought it was fantastic. It's basically this guy here who's a detective, and I haven't seen all these, by the way, so I'm kind of lucky that I've seen the first few of these to talk about. But he plays this detective who's kind of lost his mind, basically, or has he? You know, he has these really weird methods of figuring out cases. He kind of gets into the psyche of the person who was murdered or whatever. The film opens with a great scene where he cuts his ear off and hands it to his officer, and that's when he kind of gets, you know, fired, basically, and so he's now kind of like a misfit, kind of, you know, on the outskirts kind of thing. And this younger detective comes to him and tries to get him to use his methods to help him out with this case. And basically he can see people's inner, or it's weird, it's kind of like he can see like a person, but there's like 3 people around them. Or he can see a person, but they look completely different to how they actually look like, because he's seeing like their true self. It's really weird, but it really works well, because there's a guy in this who's a bit of a nutter, and he has like 7 different personalities, and it's literally shown on screen with 7 people around him, all different people. It's fantastic. I love the concept, love the execution. A little bit confusing at times, but a fantastic final scene as well, with some great cinematography. I just really liked it. Definitely not like a masterpiece or anything like that, but definitely like 4.5 out of 5. Really love this. I've watched some of the special features, because I was going to do a Blu-ray review of it, but never got around to it. But there's some interviews and things like that, Q&A with the director, an original UK theatrical trailer, and of course you get the booklet, and this is a Blu-ray DVD combo as well. Anyone watching from America, these are mostly all region locked. This one is ABC, this one's region free, this one is region B locked, I think, but I'm sure that Ryan Chataway has this, and it is region free actually. It says B on the back, but yeah, and this one also has DVD as well. So this is Blu-ray DVD, this is Blu-ray DVD. Right, let's reorder these so I can put them back on the shelf in the correct order. The next one I haven't seen yet, so I can't speak to it, and there'll be a lot of these coming up. This is Spy number 3, Tokyo Sonata, by Kiyoshi Kurosawa, which is no relation to Akira Kurosawa, for anyone who thought that. Really like the kind of white theme on this. Again, it's another thing I love about these Blu-rays. They have all different colours, so when you line them up, it just looks really cool on the shelf, I think. Lots of different colours and stuff like that. With this one, I'm not sure what it's about. I've forgotten now. I have looked into it, but it's a Japanese film from 2008. Someone is dumped from his safe company job. His family's happy humdrum life is put at risk. Outstanding performances, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's yeah. I don't really know too much about the plot actually, but I have heard it's good, and I'm a huge fan of Japanese cinema. So, oh, I've never really looked at this before, but the booklet is really nice. I like that the artwork on the booklet there. So yeah, this will be, I'll probably do an upcoming review about this whenever I get around to watching it. But that's Spine Number 3, Tokyo Sonata, and the special features. There's a Q&A, an hour-long making of documentary. Wow. DVD discussion and premiere footage, and a UK trailer. So there you go, that's Tokyo Sonata. Number 4, I have to give a huge thank you to James Merchant for this. He got this for me, and I'm going to have to send him a few things to pay him back for it, because it's out of print now, it's really expensive to get, and we were both talking about it for many months, and he saw it on eBay, and he picked it up for me, so can't thank him enough. It's Spine Number 4, a film by JeanLuc Godard, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it's a French director, French film, Une Femme Marie. And I really hope I like this. I still haven't watched it yet. I'm kind of nervous to watch it in case I don't like it, because again, he didn't. It wasn't really expensive. Like, this goes for silly money, but he kind of got it somewhere in the middle, and so I'd feel bad if I didn't like it, because again, I want to collect all these. I should probably have mentioned that. I really want to own all the films in this collection, and the reason is because for me, it's about film history, you know. And again, said this so many times before, but I'll briefly go over it again. It's like, say, stamp collecting. You buy a stamp, you put it in your stamp book, okay, that's another one to add to the collection. What do you do with that stamp really, other than just add it to the collection? It's just part of a larger thing that you enjoy doing. But for me, you know, if I don't love a film in the collection, I'm still going to keep it, because it is a bit of film history, you know, and it's a diverse collection. There's a lot of different films in it from all over the world, all different time zones. You know, you got films from like, there's a film coming out this year in the Massive Cinema range that is from 2015, and you have one that's like from 1917, so, or 1915, even as early as that. So literally, you're having there's 100 years spanned in this collection, and all over the world, and I love that. So yeah, I will check this out, and I do like French films. I'll be interested to see what this one's like. Haven't seen a film by JeanLuc Godard before. This has an 80-page book, which is really, really thick. There you go. This is Blu-ray only. And this is region free, ABC. Okay, Tokyo Sonata is ABC as well. I don't think a lot of these are region free, maybe because these are the earlier titles. Original trailer for the film, which was created and edited by JeanLuc Godard at the time of the film's original French release, which was in 1964. And yeah, that's about it really. It's mainly the book that is the main kind of special feature on this, Une Femme Marie. Moving on, number 5, I have seen this, so I can talk about it. This one is Region B Locked, it says on the back. Number 5, For All Mankind, an amazing, amazing film by Al Reinhardt. This is an amazing film. If you're interested in space, if you're interested in the moon landings, if you think the moon landings were faked, watch this film, come back to me and tell me the moon landings were faked. This is incredible. It's basically a documentary that tells you the story of all the moon landings in the 60s and 70s. To the archival footage. There's no newly filmed talking heads, there's no narration, you just see all this footage, and there is lots of interviews from the NASA archives with astronauts who went to space, who were on the Apollo missions, and that kind of colours the film, but at no point is anyone being interviewed for this film directly. Basically, Al Reinhardt went into the NASA archives and created this amazing film. It's only about an hour and 20 minutes long, yeah, an hour and 20 minutes exactly. 1989 it came out. I know Criterion have released this as well. But it's just a fantastic film with some breathtaking footage. I absolutely love this. Just a brilliant, brilliant film. I love that the Blu-ray and DVD have the moon on the disc. That's really cool. I think this is kind of like an original Why Pick the Massive Cinema booklet here. But there's the booklet for it inside. I think this is yeah, this like kind of shows you other stuff in the collection. I don't collect the DVDs of Massive Cinema. I know that some people do. Here you go, it says why Blu-ray. So obviously these are the first few Blu-ray editions, and they're kind of touting, you know, the collection, things like that. But that was cool that came with this one. So yeah, For All Mankind, definitely recommended for anyone. New high definition transfer, audio commentary by Al Reinhardt and Eugene A. Kernan. Making of documentary, a gallery of artwork. NASA sound archive and liftoff footage, optional on-screen identification of astronauts and mission specialists, and of course the booklet itself. So fantastic stuff. Definitely recommend you check that out to anyone. It's just seminal stuff about, you know, humanity's step outside of the planet. It's fantastic. Next one, number 6, La Planète Sauvage, aka The Fantastic Planet, a film by René Laloux. We got some boobs on the front there, which is always interesting. This is a French animated film from 1973. Yeah, this is a very short one. I should probably check it out because it's not that long. But again, I always think like I should do like massive cinema marathons or something like that, and I might do that at some point in the future. This is a really weird animated film that's apparently very interesting, at least. I heard good things, I've heard weird things, but we shall see. This one's Region B locked. It has 5 short films by the same director from 1960, 1964, 1965, 87 and 88. A 27-minute documentary about the film from 2003, an alternate USA dub track for the film, and the complete soundtrack for the film, along with a 56-page booklet. So there you go. This is Blu-ray DVD as well, and you got some nice inside artwork. I should probably have shown you the inside artwork as well, but you know, you can kind of see there. They often have the chapter listings and the inside artwork as well, which I love. And I love anything that has inside artwork, and these always do, which is brilliant. Spine number 6. Spine number 7, another one I'm looking forward to, which I haven't got round to yet. It's I just said Spine number 7, and it is a film by Jeffrey Levy Hint, Soul Power. Gotta love James Brown. This is, I think, a music documentary, and it features James Brown and the JBs, Muhammad Ali, B.B. King, The Spinners, Miriam Makeba, Bill Withers, Don King, who's obviously not performing in the film as an artist, but it's the soundtrack to The Rumble in the Jungle, of course, the classic Muhammad Ali fight. And there is a documentary about that called, where is it? I thought we were going to see it on the back here, but there's another documentary about that fight, I think, that is fantastic. I saw on TV once many years ago. But this is about the concert that took place. The astonishing Back to Africa 3-day musical festival Zaire 74 held in Kinshasa, ahead of the biggest boxing event of all time, the Muhammad Ali George Foreman Rumble in the Jungle. So obviously Muhammad Ali must appear in this film through archive footage and stuff like that, along with all the music footage. But I am a big fan of kind of that style of music, you know, B.B. King, James Brown, love all that stuff. A big fan of B.B. King, rest in peace as well, passed away recently, sadly. This has an exclusive video interview with the director, 30 minutes of deleted behind the scenes footage, extra performances by James Brown, Sister Sledge, the Pointer Sisters and others, original UK theatrical trailer, and all the other good stuff, including the booklet. This came out in 2008. That's interesting. I guess it must have been, he must have pieced it together long after the event, obviously long after the event had taken place. And this is Region B locked, and it has the DVD also, which has the same artwork. And then you have the booklet there. Who's that? Muhammad Ali on the front there. So definitely interested in checking this out. But again, it's just finding the right time to do it. Coming up, this one, number 8, City Girl by F.W. Murnau. This is almost perfect. The ending for me was just a little bit too typical. But otherwise, I loved it. It's about this girl, a city girl, who falls in love with this country guy who comes into the city to kind of sell his farm's crop, and falls in love with this girl, this waitress, and they decide to get married, and they go back to she lives with him on the farm, but his father does not approve of her. And so it's all about that, basically. It's a very simple story, but it's told very well. The cinematography is fantastic. I believe this was one of Murnau's last films from 1930, and it's still a silent film. Even though they had kind of the talkies were coming in the late 20s, much like Chaplin would do in the 30s, I think, is staying with a silent format. Murnau stayed with a silent format for this film, and it's just, I just love it. It's a brilliant film. Anyone who likes silent films definitely want to check out. This is Region B Locked. Again, came out in 1930. There's a full-length audio commentary by David Collette, who does a lot of audio commentaries on these silent films. A new 2008 score, composed and arranged by Christopher Caliendo, and a restoration of the film, of course. And there's here's a better shot of the guy and the girl there on the front of the booklet. This is Blu-ray and DVD. Upside down disc there. I'll leave that. Moving on, we have one of the best ones in the entire collection, Spine number 9, M by Fritz Lang. Just an amazing film, his first sound film, and he really plays with sound in this film, which is fantastic. It is from 1931? Yeah, 1931. Fritz Lang, one of my favourite directors of all time. This is one of his best, if not his best film. Not my favourite, but definitely one of his best. Just a brilliantly constructed kind of thriller that has so many facets to it. It's just fantastic. This has loads of stuff, 2 audio commentaries. It has the original 1932 British release of M, presented in its entirety, recently rediscovered, featuring different actors, alternate takes, and Peter Lorre's first performance in English, courtesy of the BFI National Archive. It says 1080p on Blu-ray, but I think that I flicked through it and it was kind of rough, but it's cool that they included it. They basically did an English version, and Peter Lorre, who's the star of the film, well, not the, well, I guess he's the star of the film, even though he's this child killer, and that's the story. They're kind of trying to track him down. And there's also a 21-minute documentary about Fritz Lang discussing his career in German cinema from 1968. This is region B, locked. I think that the rest of them are from this point, to be honest. Got a great shot there. That is the cover of the Criterion Blu-ray, which I also have. And this is you got the, I think there's the English version is on a second DVD disc. So yeah, really fantastic release. Again, this is one like Sunrise. If you're a fan of cinema, it's a must-own Blu-ray. Next we have a Shohei Imamura film, the first in the collection, number 10, Profound Desires of the Gods. Haven't seen this yet. I think this is a very long film. It's about yeah, almost 3 hours long. It's supposed to be very weird, and but I think I know what to expect now because I've seen one of his films at this point. It includes video introduction by film scholar Tony Raines, who is an expert on Japanese cinema in the UK. He does a lot of things for these releases and things like that. Even with BFI as well, the Kurosawa films. An original theatrical trailer from Japan. This is a film from 1968, and I think it's about people on an island. Yeah, Kuragi Island. The film centers on the disgraced, superstitious, interbred Futori family and the Tokyo engineer sent to supervise the creation of a new well. An encounter which leads to both conflict and complicity in strange and powerful ways. So, don't know too much what to... Well, I guess I know a little bit what to expect, but not that much. It's a 3-hour-long film, so... Another one I'm very anxious to check out when I have the time to. Gorgeous booklet there on the inside as well. Yeah, great stuff. Although I've heard mixed things about that one, to be honest. Next up, Spy Number 11, another film by Shohei Imamura, double bill. It is Vengeance Is Mine, another one that's released by Criterion. It's supposed to be very good, and this actor is someone I'm familiar with from another Imamura film, which is coming up soon in the video. It's kind of like a revenge thriller or a vengeance thriller, something like that. Guy, I think he's killing people or something like that. Eluding the police and public, Japanese infamous king of criminals passes himself off as a professor only to become entangled with an innkeeper and her perverted mother. So I'm not quite sure about the ins and outs of the plot, but it has an audio commentary by Tony Raines, a video introduction by director Alex Cox, an original Japanese theatrical trailer, and this is region B as well, and a Blu-ray DVD combo. Oh, okay, so if you're underage, you should probably not look now, but here we go. We got some boobs on the booklet. Yeah, okay. But interesting stuff. Move along the Blu-ray pile here now, so I don't stack them up too high. Moving on, Spy Number 12. This is I think a Chinese film again. Yeah, from China, from 2004. Number 12, The World. I believe this is about a girl who works at a kind of like an attraction park where they have kind of like big models of like cities and stuff. Let's see. It doesn't really. I mean, I'm sure that's what it was. A state of the world, a state of the modern world address. A look at the insular world of a troupe of Chinese stage performers dreaming of freedom. Have I just completely messed up that plot then? If anyone who's seen the film, they might be able to tell me. But yeah, the world provides an image of globalization as a paradox, at once a phenomenon rooted in social control, and a network that allows connection across individual people and populations. Okay, I might have been imagining that whole city models thing, but there you go. It has Tony Raines on The World, an exclusive video piece, made in China, a making of documentary that's over an hour long on the Blu-ray only. It has an interview with Jia Zhangke, I don't know how you pronounce that, but that's the director of the film, I suppose. And of course the booklet. Oh, this one is a Blu-ray, not Blu-ray, a region-free one, ABC. And this is of course a Blu-ray DVD combo pack. There you go. Move on, this one I'm dying to see, but again, I like to savor these and not watch them all at once, because I know this is going to be brilliant, because Orson Welles has said that it is one of the saddest films ever, and that alone makes it interesting. He said that the general is not one of the best comedies ever, probably one of the greatest films ever. And so when I watched it, I saw what he meant, and so I trust the words, the late word of Orson Welles. This is Make Way for Tomorrow, Spine number 15, a film by Leo McCarey. And I believe it's about two old people, and yeah, and they're portrayed by two of the great Hollywood character actors. They portray a couple whose house the bank is foreclosed upon, and who are forced subsequently to move into their children's homes in the city. So they move in with their kids, and I think they kind of take them for granted, that kind of thing. This has Peter Bogdanovich discussing McCarey and the film, Gary Giddings discussing the film's social and political context, and of course the booklet and all that stuff. Region B Lock, this is from 1937, and oh, this is another one of these booklets. But here's the main one there. You get to get a good look at the main characters on the front there. I love the front artwork of this as well, and yeah, another one I'm really anxious to see when the time is right. That's all. Again, I like to savor these and not kind of watch all of them, even though I'd have more to say in this video. But Make Way for Tomorrow, Spine number 15. Should probably pick up the pace a bit now. Spine number 16. This is kind of a special release. The only one in the collection to have a slipcover is Metropolis. A fantastic, fantastic film. One of the greatest of all time, no doubt. Another Fritz Lang film. This is one of his silent epics. There's the Blu-ray case there. It's exactly the same as the slipcover. And this is one of the best Blu-rays ever released, in my opinion. It's a 150-minute reconstructed and restored version of the film from 2010, which includes 25 minutes of footage previously thought lost to the world. And these 25 minutes, they don't look as good as the rest of the Blu-ray, but they've done their best, basically, and it doesn't take away from it at all. There's a new 2010 Symphony Orchestra studio recording of the original Gottfried Huppert score in 5.1. Sounds amazing. The score of this film is just absolutely stunning. It's one of the best things about it for me, and just brings the whole thing full circle. Newly translated English subtitles. Of course, it's a German film. Full-length audio commentary by David Kalat and Jonathan Rosenbaum. Die Reise nach Metropolis, I think that's Journey to Metropolis. A hour-long 2010 documentary about the film. 2010 re-release trailer, and a 56-page booklet. I should open it actually and show you on the inside. And there's also great inside artwork, so there you go. I love the disc artwork as well. I love the booklet artwork, and you can see the city behind there as well. All the listings of the chapters. It's just, oh, this was a revelation when I first saw it. It really, this is the one that made me kind of look at silent films in a more serious light. I kind of got into silent films through Buster Keaton, but this one showed me that these really have a power, and I can sit down and watch a 2.5-hour silent film and absolutely love it. Fantastic film. There's about so many different things, so many great themes in it, and it's basically very, very shortly about this guy, and his father is the head of the metropolis, the head of the big city, and it's like this futuristic city that they made with models, and it just looks, you can tell how they did it, but it just looks so fantastical and so wonderful, and full of imagination and life and creativity, and oh, I love just looking at this film. And the sets look incredible. They're huge. They're larger than life. It's one of the first huge blockbusters. I mean, there were ones before this, but this is, you know, it's one of the big ones from the silent era. Especially, it's probably one of the most famous serious films from the silent era. Not my favorite Fritz Lang film, but still one of his best for sure. Right up there with M. And just by the time the film gets to the credits, I was just like, that was incredible, absolute masterpiece. Yeah, it's about the son of the big city, and he kind of goes on a journey, and he meets this woman, and then this kind of android woman becomes part of the place. There's a kind of classic mad scientist in it. There's all sorts of stuff going on. I won't go into too much detail because, again, I want to try and get this video done because I have 39 minutes of space left on my card, and there's a lot more films to go. So we have, oh, is that? No, I picked the wrong one because they're both gold steel books. This one is Spine number 16 again. It is the re-release of Metropolis. Great steelbook. I love this. I'm glad that they released it again on steelbook, because the original steelbook, which I still kind of want to complete the collection, is really out of print. There was a big fire in Sony, and they lost a lot of copies. So yeah, this is brilliant. This is limited number. Where is it on the? Somewhere on the there. 1,398, or I think 2,000 or 4,000 copies, something like that. I love the black gold spine as well, and this has the oh, what's his name? Shoot, I forgot. It's the kind of 80s reimagining of Metropolis with like color tinting and like 80s pop music and stuff. I've forgotten the name. Giorgio Moroder, yeah, it's got that on here in HD as well as another documentary, so there's actually more disc content than the original release, which is good for when you're double dipping on that one. Next up we have Spine 17. Okay, so I'm missing 13, so it's not a complete run yet, but Spine number 17, La Signora Senza Camilli, a film by Michelangelo Antonioni. Italian film, haven't seen this, but the lead actress looks very interesting on the front, and not too sure about the plot on this one, so I'm not going to go into it, but it has an original theatrical trailer from Italy, a new exclusive video discussing the director in the context of the Italian production system in the 1950s, a new video introduction with critic and teacher Gabe Klinger, newly translated English subtitles, and this is from 1953. Region B locked. And they go closer look at the actress there on the front, but yeah, I'll just breeze through this one because I don't know too much about it, and I think that the Metropolis one is B-locked as well. Then we have, absolute classic, you'll have already seen me, if you've seen my 24-hour movie marathon 4, I didn't review that after we first watched it. Spine number 20, Harakiri, a film by Masaki Kobayashi, absolutely fantastic film. We've got Tatsuya Nakadai here, an amazing actor, one of my favourites of all time, my top 10 probably. Plays this samurai who goes into this kind of this establishment, this kind of posh place, I guess like a manor or something, in feudal era Japan, and he asks to commit harakiri or seppuku, kind of ritual suicide in their courtyard, and then he tells a story of why, and the whole film is him sat in this courtyard telling the story, and there's loads of flashbacks, and it's a brilliantly constructed film that just has you on the edge of your seat. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes long. And it's slow, but it just has you gripped from start to finish. An amazing film, highly recommended. Kobayashi is a fantastic director. It's from 1962. Region B locked, has original theatrical trailer, an excerpt from a 1993 interview with Masaki Kobayashi discussing the film, and of course the booklet, along with the Blu-ray and DVD. An amazing, amazing film, one of my favorites in the collection for sure. Next we have another Shohei Imamura set. It is number 21 in the collection, and it features Pigs and Battleships, which is the main film on the Blu-ray, but it also has Imamura's debut film, Stolen Desires. This is 2 films by Shohei Imamura. Haven't seen either of these. Pigs and Battleships from 1961, Stolen Desires from 1958, sorry. And yeah, I'm not sure if this is a new progressive transfer. I'm not sure if it's in HD or not. They probably would have said if it was. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's no other special features except for the booklet. It's on Blu-ray and DVD. And yeah, I'm interested in this because I have become a fan of Imamura based on the one film I've seen of his so far. Again, big fan of Japanese cinema, so I'm sure I'll enjoy it. And this is Region B. Next we have Spine number 23, a film by Douglas Trumbull, who worked on, I think, the special effects for 2001: A Space Odyssey. Made his own film here, a sci-fi epic, Silent Running. This is a brilliant film. I haven't got the J cards are somewhere, but I haven't got them at hand, so I can't tell you the special features here. But there's a lot of great special features on most of these films. Maybe I should go and get them, really, shouldn't I? I'm going to go get them.